This is episode 96 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and here we've got something a little different.
Yes, we won't be playing a game this evening, so if you don't care about our view on points, switch off now. Otherwise, we're going to have a quick look at the points update as it dropped yesterday. And it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
There may or may not be some random tins popping in during our chat. Depends when they finish bits and bobs they're doing. So we may or may not have some other views. But
yes. So should we just get started? I hope you've actually read it, because I only read the Separatist bit, and that's about it.
I've had a quick brief look through. So
all of this is a surprise to me.
So let's start at the top. We'll just run through the doc and talk about any that we think are notable. The alpha classes, it's hard to judge until they're standard, because as a general rule down here, we don't tend to play extended that often.
Yeah.
So,
like, Kasabi and Major Vinder looks like they came down. Cool, whatever, moving on.
Pretty much.
I don't know, like, I don't have any comment on them.
Yeah. The gauntlets. What I really should have done was had the old points to do a direct comparison. That would have helped.
Yeah, but who cares? That's not how we roll.
So I'm assuming Gar was probably at 7 already and has got an LV buff. Yeah. And Hark has come down to 6, so you can run 3 gauntlets if you want.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not sure why you'd want to, but you could.
The limited Inquisitor's ties have all come down. Which is nice. They might see play.
Yeah, I reckon we'll see Fifth Brother and Seventh Sister again.
Yeah, 4 points. That's pretty reasonable.
And they've got just enough loadout to bring some of the toys they want to bring. Like, Fifth Brother can bring Herman missiles, Seventh Sister can bring some sort of missile. Sorted.
But not enough to go, oh, we're a million upgrades. And
super crazy, yeah.
The Advanced X1, we know that the standardized Vader from the new beginner's pack is 6 points, which is interesting because he's obviously got OG Vader's ability and afterburners and some ion missiles, and I think hate, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have fire control, but he does have unlimited actions, sort of. So it's like, yeah, do you want Boy Vader? Do you want full Vader where you can put what you like on him and have pattern analyzer and all that tricks? Or do you like Vader's I can lock and focus and barrel roll if I need to, but I'm not going to punch quite as hard, but I'm saving myself a squad point at 6.
Yeah, I feel like it's like just good enough Vader, basically, is what the new one is.
Max Steel, the non-standardized version, the current version, 4 points come down. It's nice. 10 loadout, double talents. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
And then the standardized one that comes in the new pack is 5.
All right, cool. We might see him, we might not. I don't know. It's hard to tell until he comes out.
If I remember, the standardized one has got quite good upgrades on it, so
yeah,
so that's good. And Zertic Storms come down to 4, so you've got lots of 4-point options now.
Yes.
Right. Crack on through the Imperials. Feroff, we all knew something was going to happen with Feroff. He stays at 4, but gets an LV slash to 6. That's kind of okay, isn't it? You can't take a force crew on it anymore, but
you can on Vizier.
But you can on Vizier. But then you lose the tankiness that Feroff brings, and I think that's a fair shout on him.
That's a fair trade.
Vader Defender gets a slight LV cut to 10. So, cool. Sienna Ree in the Interceptor gets an LV buff to 14.
Yes. Gideon Hask in the Interceptor goes down to 4 points.
Yep. Battle of Yavin Iden comes down to 5.
Hell yeah, I love Battle of Yavin Iden.
Yeah, like at 6, I just felt she was a dead straight no. At 5, there's an argument. I still think they're a better 5-point.
Potentially, I just feel like, yeah. Well, I personally feel like her ability just makes her worth 5 points because you can just really nullify some nasty stuff coming your way.
Yeah.
But Lieutenant Laurier, was he always 3 points? I forget.
No. He must
no
have
way he
come
was
down
3
to
points,
3.
right?
Yeah. No, I don't think there was a 3-point interceptor.
That's pretty interesting.
Suntir, Ace of Legend, 5 points, and actually, yeah, I can see. It gives Imperials almost an ace. An ace style of play again. You can get four aces in there now.
Yeah. And Volscaris gets a load up boost. He can now take fun things.
Yay!
Yay.
I
mean, honestly, out of the interceptors, Suntir felt interesting. Iden, interesting. I think both of them will start seeing play. I also think the 3-point interceptor is going to be an interesting one because I reckon a 3-point interceptor will slot nicely into a TIE swarm.
Yeah.
And it's and its ability, when you barrel, you must use the bank templates instead of the straight templates. Fine.
We all know what Guri was like, so
yeah, it's an ability. Cool, whatever. It's a 3-point. It's a 3-point 3-dice gun with 3 health. It's just a straight upgrade over some TIE fighters.
Yeah. So on to the TIE fighters. The new standardized Night Beast is 3. Del and Gideon I believe are already 3, but
they were already 3. They've just got some loadout.
Both Iden, standardized and non-standardized, have gone up to 4, and I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Gideon has gone up to 4, and I think that's fair.
That was coming.
Like, despite the fact that I've been having immense fun playing him, he deserves to be. Stopping modifications on defense dice is powerful.
Saint Marana gets a loadout buff, so it looks like they're pushing Inferno Squad.
Yeah.
As the ties, which I'm okay with.
And that doesn't surprise me. They like thematic, and that's good. Phelan Rudor, the new standardized is 3. The Phantoms, Echo and Whisper,
they're down to 5.
They're down to 5. Ubble goes up to 5, and Rampage comes down to 4 in the heavy.
All right. So if you're playing a heavy, what you do is you probably swap them over.
Yep. The Bombers pretty much stay the same. We just get the new standardized ones from the starter packs. Jonas at 4 and Tomax at 5.
5. Now that's an interesting one.
Yeah, considering his non-standardized version is 3, but we'll have to see exactly what's on the. Yeah, we'll have to see what's on the cards. I'm pretty sure one of them has got Prox Mines, which is literally worth 10 points now. Yeah. So, the Strikers have all come down a point.
Yeah. So now we might start seeing some Strikers back. Duchess might be back. Duchess 5 points, 18 loadout. I reckon there's a nice. I mean, maybe not so much anymore. There's some nice 4 to 5 ship Imperial AC.
Yeah.
Ships rocking around here.
And if you don't want 4 to 5 ships and like something a little bit bigger, Rack's down to 7 in the Decimator.
Oh boy. Rack triple crew. Okay.
Rack triple crew, 20 points.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to be good.
Yeah. So yeah, all Decimators 7 points. Come on, man. Could have put Oikon down to 6. Oikon down to 6.
No, because they saw our earlier podcast and decided it was too OP.
Yeah, maybe. Onto the Rebels. The B-Wings. We've got some drops in the B-Wings. Gina comes down to 4, Hera comes down to 5, and Netron Pollard comes down to 4.
The 2 generics are down to 4. Hard to say whether they'll start poking in, because a bunch of X-Wings also have been changed, and the Arcs have come down.
Yeah, speaking of, all the Arcs have come down. So 4 for Garvin.
4 for Garvin, 4 for Ibtisam, 5 for Nora, and 4 for Shara.
Cool. If I'm honest, I don't hugely rate the Rebel Arcs.
I mean, well, at least with this, you if you want to run an arc in your salad, you can, right?
You can.
Like, it's not. It's not a giant point sink.
I think there are much better 4 and 5 point
Yeah.
options in Rebels, but the Y Wings, the new standardized gold leader Dutch Vander from the starter pack is 4, so all the Dutches are 4. Verlaine is 3. Hol Oikund is 3. Horton Slam standardized is 4 and non-standardized 3. Nora down to 5.
Yeah, so far the theme so far has definitely been like loadout down and ship cost down. So
particularly on the stuff that isn't getting played. Like, it seems
Yeah.
to me that what they've done this time is instead of nerfing the stuff that's getting played, buffing the other stuff.
Yeah.
So there are more options. Which I kind of like, to be honest. E-Wings, that's down, isn't it? They've come down.
They've come down.
I mean, in theory, you could fly 4 E-Wings if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, they're not standard, so
I know we
Moving
won't,
swiftly on.
but you could. The Fang Fighters. Fen's 5 and the rest are 4.
yeah.
So,
All right, maybe that. See, I think there's going to be some fun rebel salads.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I think over all the factions, you're going to start seeing more salad lists.
Yeah.
There's more plug and play options. The Gauntlets have come down. Well, let's say come down. Chopper and Ezra are 6 points now, and the Mandalorian Resistance Fighter is 7. Because
Nice.
bit of, well, I say generic hate. It's not even generic. It's single pipped, but you know, he's not a character. The Hawk, Kyle, and Rock have come down. I think all got LV boosts. One of the two.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the Hawks. I'm not going to lie.
We will skip fast through the stuff we're not sure on. All the Falcons are 7, which is very interesting.
I think that's fine. They're all 7. They've all got roughly similar loadout. Leia has more, but I think that's more because she has a Force slot taking up her space as well.
It makes a very interesting choice between Boy Han and Standard Han.
Yeah,
because
I think
they
Boy
do different
Han
things.
Straight up, it's straight up is as good as Standard.
Oh
Han.
yeah. No, I agree. But they, depending on what you want them on the list, so they're like quite nice and interchangeable now.
Or you could bring Outer Rim Smugglers because he's also 7.
Yeah, sure. I could bring a 7-point Falcon with like 20 plus loadout, or I could bring the Outer Rim Smuggler with 6 loadout and a missile and a gunner.
Missile and a gunner. That's you can fit veteran turret gunner on that, Sean.
Oh no, I'm going to bring concussion missiles and agile gunner. And I'm remembering that concussions are 5, and I'm right.
Yeah, concussion is 5.
The RZ
A-Wings.
Yeah. The new standard Arvel is 4. Hera's come down to 4. The new standard Jake is 5. Sabine's come down to 3.
I'm hoping for magically godness from Jake than standard Jake.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see because I've not seen anything on the really on the
I
new.
Haven't seen it. I haven't
the
really
new
seen
Rebel stuff.
The
The new standardized Shara Bay is 4.
Yeah.
Baby Wedge has come down to 3.
Yeah, that's cool. Pausing quickly, Sabine Wren, because she's Mandalorian. Like now, spoiler alert: a lot of the Mandalorian specific cards have come down. You can really get some nice stuff on Sabine Wren.
Yeah.
In the A-Wing, even with 7 loadout, you can get both the mods and the talent, and then she becomes very interesting. Like she's bringing A-Wing that can fix itself, basically.
Nice, we like
and get
that.
free target locks and free focuses.
We like that a lot. The Sheathapede. Fenral's gone up because sure.
I mean, he was once part of the whole shenaniganery.
Oh, Rebel Alpha, yeah, but that was so long ago. But Zeb and AP5 have come down. At the T6...
I feel like that's Fen getting up is more because lots of other things have come down. Rebel Alpha Strike all of a sudden might come back. So so
Yeah.
they're just like, and we'll just knock this one on the head.
Yeah, that's fair. The T65s. Some interesting ones here. Corran has come down to 4. So that's a nice 4-point
Alright.
i5 T65.
Yeah, 9 loadout points, Talent, Missile, Astromech, and the S-Wales. Straight good.
The new standardized Jack is 5.
Okay.
Battle of Yavin Vader.
Vader? Good lord.
But I'm so used to saying Battle of Yavin followed by Vader. Battle of Yavin Luke is 5. Standard Luke is 6. And the new Luke is also 6. Thane's also come down to 4. And I really like that because I like Thane. If you can get Thane to the end game, when they've just not even the end game, when you've got some damage on people, he's so good. So good. Like 8 loadout, I just slap some trick shot on him, try and get the extra dice for an extra result, and Wedge. Wedge is an interesting one. Normal Wedge, standard Wedge. Come down to 5 points. Great. But had an LV whack to 9, so can't take Protorps anymore. But
yeah, but when we go
Wedge.
through the upgrades, it's Wedge. Who cares?
Wedge is still good, even on his stat. You know, you're making them lose a defense dice. That's always
Wedge
good.
with Plasma Torps is going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Wes has, I believe, got an
wingman.
Has got an LV buff to 15. Because I'm pretty sure he was still 5. Now this is interesting. The TIE Fighter Rebel. Sabine is 2 points. Spoilers for those that haven't had a chance to look through yet. Most factions, I believe everyone except First Order, now has a 2-point option again.
Like it.
But I think they've done a better job of picking them than they did last time. Like, a lot of them may or may not be auto-includes. I don't think, actually, most of them are auto-includes because everything coming, or a lot of things coming down, it gives you more options that you're not going, oh, I'm just going to put this good ship and have 2 points left over.
I think this is more about list building glue.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a 2-point ship you can slot in if you cap at 18 and be like, oh crap, can't fit anyone else in.
Yeah. But they're not, then it's nothing OP, like in any of the lists, any of the factions even. So I like that. And she has got 3 LV, so there's a little bit to play with. She's got a
Beskar reinforced plating,
talent, and an odd slot.
There's a 4 health TIE fighter with Beskar reinforced plating.
Now the one that makes my wife happy, the Ghost. Chopper down to 6, Kanan down to 7, triple Ghost list. And I have a triple Ghost list made up for her. This one will make you laugh, Sam. So I wanted to make the best use of Chopper's ability. Or not Chopper's ability, but, you know, obviously, you want to shove Chopper in there and just get loads of people bumping on him. And I was like... So I was looking through, like, the crew and the stuff like this. I was like, hang on, if I put Zeb on, then I can use my focus at range 0. And everyone else won't have a focus to use back at me because I'll have jammed it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, but hang on, how do I get a focus action on Chopper? Because he has a calculate?
Yeah.
The only way I could find to get a focus action on Chopper is to put Lando on there and hope to God you roll a focus.
That seems like a bad plan.
But also, there's not really much else to go on there, so... I don't know. You're not really any worse off, are you? Unless you roll 2 of 8 and...
True.
What did I kit him out with? Like that, and obviously an ion cannon and veteran turret gunner. And then I think tack scrambler.
I mean, that makes sense.
But so interesting. Like, it does seem to be a theme of there's cheaper small ships, etc. So ship count may go up a little bit, but there are also a lot of different options for 3 large ships. Like a lot of different options now. So you know, you don't have to fly 7 ships if you don't want to fly 7 ships.
I want to fly 7 ships.
I mean, that's fair. The Rebel Z95. Kraken went up to 4. And Blount, I think, got an LV boost to 11. So, nice. Scum. Now, this actually I quite like. Some of the Y-Wings have come down. Lima and Arlis are 3, and Cavill and Dre are 4.
Nice.
So just more options in that 3 to 4 point small ship, which Scum didn't have a lot of, and you just took Kanan.
Scum needs 3 to 4 point ships that are worth taking.
Yeah,
I think that is a space they really need.
Yeah, and as you'll see as we go through them, they get it. The Falcons, everyone except Han is now 5 points.
Yep, I mean I can see that. The Scum Falcon is just like straight up bad, like worse than the Rebel Falcon without the title.
Well, they can all take the title now.
Yes, but only one of them can. So if you spam
them... yeah. Fair if you spam them. But I don't know, 5 points, I could see you slotting one in somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could definitely see one in. Like, sometimes it does feel like big, chonky ships is Scum's thing now.
Yeah.
It has been for a while.
The Fangs have come down. So Fen is now 6. Joy is back down to 4. The Mandalorian Guards are at 4. Cad is at 4. In fact, listen, Fen's at 6. Old T's at 5, and everyone else is at 4. So yeah, could see some Fangs in, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Bobber. Bobber stays at 9. Gets an LV / to 18, which is going to take away some of his toys. But he can still fit a Force crew, and he's still got a crew slot, so Bobber's still good.
Bobber's still fine. I think that, like I said, you just can't take all the toys, and I think that's fine. Just a nice little tap, because they still want Bobber to be played, because he's like a big name.
Yeah. Like, you've got enough for Force crew and some toys, just not a silly amount of toys. And the others all stay the same, which is fine. Honestly, I think 6 points for a fire spray, you just see it in every list. Gauntlet. Maul's come back down to 8, but taking a bit of an LV hit. But that's still quite interesting. I'd be tempted by that. I enjoyed playing Maul. I'd definitely be tempted by that. Rook has an LV / to 14. Again, just taking away some of those toys, which does seem to be the theme that AMG are kind of going for. Maybe a slight, not necessarily a slightly higher ship count, but more options. You can take more ships if you want, or you can take a larger selection of big ships, but slightly less toys on them, slightly less bloat on each ship, which will certainly help newer players who just don't want to see a pile of upgrade cards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how many upgrade cards was Ricky running on his YV? Like 12 or something ridiculous. So
yeah, like, as much as that is fun, like, it's very hard to introduce a player to the game and be like, and they're like, "What's all that?" And I'm like, "Tell you what, I'll explain it when it happens." And like, that's not a fun way to play.
The Hawks. Let's do the big one. Kanan stays at 4, gets 6 LV. So he can't take a Force crew.
He's still going to be good.
That's fine.
Like he's legitimately just still going to be good.
You're still reducing one attack around, and that's fine. Dace has come down to 4 and gets the title slot. And Gamut, I believe, was... I want to say Gamut was 3, wasn't he?
Possibly.
He's now 4 with 8 LV. So that's strange. And Torkel is 5 with 8. So, because he's talking a bit. The Jump Master, Dengar's come down to 6. We really should have got the... It is 6 with 11 LV.
No, I feel like that's an LV hit rather than a change.
And then
Like I said, I didn't look at anything other than Separatists, so this is all a surprise to me. Hey, M3A Interceptors!
Yes!
We skipped over the Kimagillas, nothing changed for them.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just skipped past everything that didn't change. The M3As, almost all of them, in fact, all the non-generics have had a change, and I believe they've all come down.
They've all come down by one at least.
So Sarasu and Genesis
LV hits in response.
Sarasu and Genesis Red are now 4 points, but I mean Genesis Red can still take Protorps if he wants, and Sarasu's got 12 loadout. Everyone else is 3, with varying loadouts from 8 up to 12. Which is fine. It gives up more options for that range, which is what they needed. The modified tie, Seavol's come down to 3. So they're all 3 across the board now. The rogue classes are now all 4 across the board.
Okay.
Which I like. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see the same later. It's pretty legit.
I think they've all had a bit of an LV change. They're all down near 10, 11, 13. So you're not quite taking all the toys. But again, that's consistent with across the factions. So
yeah.
And yeah, the Outer Rim Hunters 4, but who cares about that? The Mando has come down to 6. But has 10 LV. And now this is an interesting one for me. Because while his ability is okay, at 6 points and 10 LV compared to Q9, who has 6 points and 16 LV, I'm just not sure he's worth it.
I mean, even the Guild Bounty Hunter has more LV than the Mandalorian.
Yeah, they must really rate his ability.
Well, there must be something kind of insane that I'm not seeing. But I also think that maybe in the new meta, his ability is much stronger because there's just that many more ships.
Well, that is true. We'll have to see how that shakes out. The YVs, Bosk, Dr. Aphra, and Lats have all come down to 6.
Nice.
So, yeah, lots of choices there. Actually, no, I tell a lie. I think Dr. Aphra was already 6. So it's got an LV buff to 22.
Yeah.
The same as Lats. And Bosk now sits on 16 LV, which is kind of fine for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's not highlighted, but I did clock it. Scum's only usable 2-point ship. I say usable. You could use the autopilot drone if you wanted, or the Nashta pup, but
I mean, the autopilot drone works only if you're bringing a Falcon as well, right?
Yeah. But Bosk is 2 points again, but only has 3 loadouts. So, because I think I want to say in the
Predator,
I want to
Contraband.
I want to say in the last bit where he was the 2-point ship, or one of the 2-point ships, because Ahab was as well. Did he have like 8 loadout?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. He's got a missile slot. Can't take a missile. Funny. Yeah, and the Nashta Pup's gone up technically because I believe it was 1 point and has gone up to 2. And that's Scum. First Order! And some interesting First Order. Von Breck's come down to 5 in the BA, which is consistent with other people of his type, Suntir, and when we get to it, Sunfac.
We might actually see TIE BA.
Yeah. I annoyingly bought 2 of them.
Yeah, well.
The FOs. The FOs are interesting.
A bunch of them got LV hits, basically.
Yeah, none of them have gone up. They're all still... In fact, technically, some of them have come down. Midnight is now 3 points.
Yeah.
But Scorch, DT, and Gaelic have all had LV cuts to 6, 6, and 7, respectively. So the only ones you can stick a shield upgrade on anymore are Longshot,
Static and Muse and Longshot.
Muse.
And Lingava.
Static and Lingava. But realistically, out of the ones you tend to bring, well, not really any of those, so...
I've seen Longshot.
Okay, I'll refer...
Yeah.
Of the sort of...
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, the ones that have been doing well recently. So yeah, but that's fine. They're all 3 points, lots to choose from. And And yeah, they're good. They all have good abilities. But yeah, you're not adding on that extra shield for durability, so... But it also means you've got points now for other toys, so...
Exactly.
A lot of them have 2 talents, or 2 tech slots, or a missile slot, so... Yeah. I mean, Malorus has still got a cluster missile, so she's happy.
Yeah.
The Bomber. FO Bomber. Dread has come down to 3, and Scorch has come back down to 3. But they only have 8 and 7 LV, so you're not boosting prox mines on them and stuff like that. They're not as bad as they were, which I think is fine. I think that's,
absolutely.
that's AMG doing we've banged them both in points and LV and then realised we've gone a little bit too far and brought it back down. The SFs. Quick draws come down to 5. Lieutenant Hughes has come down to 4. But what's interesting is that the Special Forces Gunner is now 0.
Yes.
So where you were spending 5 points on that, which, for instance, is the whole of Backdraft's LV, that's now a free upgrade. It's effectively a config, and you've got some points for other bits, and I like that.
I agree.
I think the SF should have Special Forces Gunner. It's almost part. I mean, I know it's not limited to it, but it is limited to it, isn't it? It's yeah. And it's part of its identity, so yeah, I like that. It makes them a choice now, because they just weren't seeing. Occasionally, I think you saw Backdraft, maybe Phasma, but
not really.
No. The Silencers. Kylo, I'm assuming has got an LV buff because I'm pretty sure he was 7 points. He's now 7 with 22.
Okay.
And everyone else is 5. And that is down.
Yeah. Alright. 4 silencer list. What does that look like? Annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, Avengers never been particularly great, so...
Blackout can still take Protorps. That's
kind
of what you want, isn't it? So...
I mean, I could see, Trick Shot, Plasma Torps.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The Whisper. The only change to the Whisper is Kylo. Kylo has come down to 5.
Okay.
14 LV.
Okay, so we can't take everything. We can still take the stuff he needs.
But it means you can do 5 FOs and Kylo.
Yes.
Really interesting there. Did he always have... I'm guessing he always had Light Side. I just never really paid attention to it.
Yeah.
And that is it for First Order. Resistance. This will be the one.
Right, the ones we care about.
Yeah, this bottom half of the 3 factions we'll talk a little bit more about. So, the White Wings. Chorus, Lega, and Shaza are now 3 points each. Tessa, Wilsa, and Zori are all 4. So you've no 5 points anymore. They've taken some LV hits. Zori's taken quite a big LV hit. But on the flip side of that, Wartime Loadout's down to 2 points. So, yeah, it's interesting. There's some 3-point fillers there if you want it. The Star Fortress got some buffs, but that's extended. No, they got some LV improvements. So if they ever actually come back in, that will be interesting. The transport pod. So Finn's gone up to 4 with 15 LV, which is interesting because I think there are better 4-point options now.
Yeah,
but I'd argue there's still possibly an argument for it. Like he can do perceptive, he can do heroic, and then he's still got 5 points of LV for a talent, a tech, or I mean, you could put Pattern Analyzer on him now, so when he does a turnaround, still gets his bits and bobs. So yeah, I think there's an argument to shake out. Rose has got an LV buff to 9.
Okay.
which is nice. I like that. Slap C3PO and Heroic on her.
Yeah, seems good value.
ZZ in the RZ2, I think was 5 and has stayed 5, but gets 10 loadout. Yeah.
The A-Wings will still be fine.
Yeah.
Like, they are currently fine, and they'll still be fine.
Yeah, I disagree there. I think the A-Wings are going to start to get overshadowed, but we'll see. The Falcons. The Falcons have come down, as have a lot of the large base ships across the game. Chewie is now 6 with 18 LV, which is interesting. Lando, Poe, and Rey are now all 7 points. So Poe and Rey is an interesting. Poe and Rey are identical, 7 points with 25 loadouts.
The only difference is their loadout slots. Rey gets a force
and 2
and
crew,
a second crew, and Poe gets a second talent.
Yeah. So, yeah. The one I'm excited about, the T-70s. They pretty much all dropped a point, apart from the 2 Poes and Flappy Snappy. So Kai, Eloasti, J. Chris, Jess, Care, Nimi, Boosty Snappy, and Dozer now, and Zay are all 4 points. Then Flappy's still 5. Nien's 5. Joff Sea Striker is 5.
Bastion is 5.
Bastion is 5. So, yeah, I mean, I think the first list I'm going to try is 5 T-70s. Because, as we were discussing last week about ships that can take a hit and are forgiving of mistakes, the T-70 is very much one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, whether it stays at 5x, I don't know. It'll probably, I'd imagine, evolve into some sort of salad, but I think it's a good starting point.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for something chonky that just basically points forward and shoots, 5 T-70s is a good way to go.
It's 5 3-dice guns. You're not going to lose it to one bad roll. Namely, because most of them staple heroic on, so if you do bad roll, you're covered.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you can get a decent amount of passive mods on them. And yeah. That's good. Considering I've got a tournament next Saturday, and none of us are, gonna know what the meta is or what the best lists are. It's going to be really interesting to see what people pick up and bring, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's Resistance. Republic, the other one I want to talk about. The Arcs. Arcs have come down some. I think it's come down to 5, but we don't care about that.
You say that, but I do wonder if there's a sneaky sinker swarm sitting there somewhere.
Maybe. Well, I mean, yeah, you could do sinker and 5 3-point ships. There are more than 5 3-point. You could actually mixture of Z95s.
Like
Z95s, Torrents, V-wings.
The sort of pilot that will suddenly everyone will just remember that, oh yeah, this guy was a problem at some point.
But Jag and Wolf, the non-Siege of Coruscant versions, have both come down to 4, both with 9 loadout, which I find interesting because obviously the Siege of Coruscant ones were already 4, and we were taking them because they were good value.
Yeah.
The only really important upgrade on them was Veteran Tail Gunner.
Yeah.
So it makes it interesting about how you want to build them. And spoilers, Veteran Tail Gunner has gone up to, I think, 5 points. But that still gives you 4 LV for other things. Jag also gets 2 gunner slots. Isn't that interesting?
Nice.
So does Wolf, actually.
So does Sinker.
In fact, I think they all have nice. Oh, Sinker's got a crew slot. Interesting. All right, I take it back. I'm colour me interested. And Oddball has also come down to 4 points, both his Siege of Coruscant and his standardized version. So you now get three arcs for 12 points, and I think that's reasonably good value.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like, and I've just realised, ignore everything I just said, because I say that the only valuable upgrade on the arcs was Veteran Tail Gunner, and that is a lie. Because the standard versions don't have Born for this.
That's true.
And that is a very important...
That is basically key.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know if it's key, but it will certainly make an interesting...
Yeah.
Which one do you take? The Y-Wings have all got some buffs. Broadside has come down to 3 with 10 loadout. Goji 4 with 16. Matchstick is down to 3 with 9 loadout. And I think that is amazing value if you're not running the arcs with Jag that want to pick up locks on the opponent.
Yeah.
Because if you can get 3 locks of your own locks on, if you're running a list that doesn't want locks, if you can get 3 locks onto Matchstick, and he's double tapping with an ion cannon. Oh, he hasn't got a gunner slot. Damn, no double tap. That's annoying. Slightly less impressed now. That's a shame. I mean, you still get a consistent ion cannon with him if you wanted.
Yeah.
Which like, Oddball is 4 points with 18 loadout. Like, that's reasonably interesting.
Fine.
And Anakin is 6 points with 20 loadout.
What's the change there? I feel like he was 6 points before.
I want to say is actually that might be a slight loadout nerf.
I mean, a lot of things come down, I guess. Like, if you suddenly strap Plasma Torps to Anakin, he can buy the world, right?
Yeah. R2-D2 is now 3 points with 9 loadout, and his crew slot, he can ferry people around as he does. The Z95s are where the Republic get their 2 pointers, and they get 2 of them. Both Slider and Boost are 2 points with 3 LV each. Which I quite like. It's not like Knack, who would be the contrail of the I'm I5, it doesn't matter. My ability is rubbish. They're interesting. They can side slip and boost at this. Slider can side slip. Boost can boost in the engagement phase if people have done certain maneuvers.
Blue maneuvers near him. Yeah.
So it's interesting, but it's 2 2-point ships. So, but they're also ships that will die. So
yeah, they're ships that will die. Like there's just nice ways to like bump up the numbers because like Republic have a bunch of ways to randomly give people attack rerolls.
Yeah.
So the more ships, the better.
Yeah. Z95. Z95. We've just done the Z95. The Delta 7 Aether Sprite. Plo Koon is 5 points with 14 LV. And I think that's an LV buff. I quite like that because it allows you to take...
I like that.
He's only got mod, droid, talent, force, but allows you to slap a shield upgrade on him. Then you've still got 6 points to play with on your various bits and bobs. You could use him as a high initiative chopper carrier. It could be interesting. But it's 4 LV more than Obi-Wan, which makes him a viable alternative. You know,
it's a choice.
Yeah, you're getting 1 less force and arguably a worse ability, but they have their different uses. But you do get slightly more toys, and to the same extent, his Delta B version gets 19 loadout. So yeah, but he's got the highest loadout of any Delta B. So yeah, nice. The Etters, some tweaks there.
Baby.
Both Anakins have come down. 5 points for the standard, 4 points for the Siege of Coruscant. 4 points for Kit Fisto. 4 points for standard Shakti and standard Yoda. And actually, the list I was looking at was the 3 arcs of Jag, Wolf, and Oddball. And then you either go standard Etta Anakin and a 3-pointer of your choice, Or Siege of Coruscant Etta, who admittedly isn't quite as good, but then either lets you get another 4-pointer or the 2/2s.
Yeah.
So if I can get 6 ships in and one of them is Anakin in anything, and 3 of them are arcs, that's going to be reasonably nice.
Get some nice value.
The Gauntlet, Bo-Katan is down to 6. The Night Owl Liberator is 7, and they both have 12 LV. Hawk in the Lat has, I think, gone up to 6, but gets 25 LV. So the 2/12 and Sicko are both 5 points. Everyone else is 6. And I think that's kind of the... I mean, the Lat is... I think there's an argument to be made for one of, if not the best support ship in the game.
Yeah,
when you kit it out. And so you're going to have to sink a lot of your squad points into it, but you're going to get a lot of toys with it. So the Naboo M1s. Padme and Rick get some love. Both 4 points. 18 LV on Padme and 12 on Rick. And I like that because you could swap Rick into the list I was talking about. And then you've got Anakin, Rick, and 3 arcs. That's pretty nice. And Rick 12 LV with 2 talents, a sensor, torp, and a droid. I mean, you could stick plasmas on him. You could stick Predator on him. And then you've still got 4 points to play with.
Yeah. Crack shot.
Yeah. So, onto the V-Wing. Oddball has come down to 3. But Siege of Coruscant, Contrail, and Click have both gone up to 4.
Which I think is fair.
Yeah, the standards still stay at 3, and they have Contrail's got 11 and Click has 8 LV, and that allows them to do what Click wants an R3, and that's fine. He can take that. I think it's more about the Born for this because with the arcs, if you're taking a strain on your 1 agility ship to hand over a focus, fine, you're going to get punished for it. But with these guys, you're still at 2 defense dice, which can see you through a fair amount, and I think that's fair. Axe, the Siege of Coruscant, has gone down to 3 in the Torrent, and that is Republic. And I've wittered on pretty much for 45 minutes, so I'm going to hand you over to Sam for a little bit now.
All right, so Separatists. So the Belbelub, Captain Sear, still 5 points, but he gets a bit of loadout. 2 loadout to be precise. General Grievous, still 5 points, loses a loadout down to 11, so no more quick build Grievous. And Wat Tambor, still 4 points, but gets 3 loadout up to 9. So the tactical relays have all massively come down in points. Kraken is at the top of 8 points.
That's not actually true. All the tactical relays have come down by 2 points each.
Yeah, there's a massive reduction in points across the board.
Okay.
Like compared to because what it means is all the tactical relay carriers who were like, "Oh, I'm a little sad because all I can take is the bad tactical relays," can now all take the good ones.
Fair.
Impervium blading has gone up to 2 as well. So
I think
Grievous
that's
is
fair.
a little sadder. Yeah, I think Impervium blading is fine to have it pointed.
Let's be fair. He can still fit Impervium and a shield upgrade, and you're adding 3 health to him.
Yeah, I think I had General Grievous with a Pervium shield upgrade and just marksmanship, because why not? And Soulless one.
Yeah.
And Captain Sear can quite happily fit Kraken and shield upgrade, so you get a 6 health Captain Sear if you're running that sort of list. Wat Tambor can fit, he can't fit Kraken, Impervium plating, and something else, but he can fit the others and some other upgrades, so the Belbelubs might start showing up. I think Grievous will still be around. He's still annoying to kill. His ability is still good.
Yeah.
So that's on that. Now the Tri-Fighters. Here's where it's interesting, because basically across the board, almost all of them have come down in points. The exception is the standard Siege of Coruscant Flax. They're still 4 points, and Volan Das is still 4 points. Fearsome Predators 3 points. Both DIS 347s 3 points. Dis T81 that you can put upgrades on 3 points. Siege of Coruscant T81, 4 points. So he's down from 5. The Colicoid, 3 points, and the Separatist Interceptor, 3 points. So bam! The Tri-Fighters, all of a sudden, potentially playable.
But with the exception of Volan, they've all got
Next to no
less than
loadout.
6 LV.
Because
So-
the regular flaks have 6 LV, but they're banned because
Oh yeah, they're banned. So basically, it's 4 or less, 4 or 3, and I kind of
Yeah.
like that. They're cheap, you can spam them, but you're not putting a shield upgrade on all of them.
Like-
and
because the funny thing is, when I'm building lists, I just go to the Colicoid Interceptor.
Yeah.
Because he has 4 points. They're all functionally the same. He has 4 loadout points. You can fit Crackshot on him. Bam. Done.
yeah,
He fits so nicely into a droid swarm. Like whenever, because I don't like T81 because he only has 3 loadout points. 347, okay, 4 loadout points can slap Crackshot on him, but he's like 3.
isn't T81 the reroll to get?
Siege of Coruscant T81 is rerolls. Regular T81 is super networked basically.
Ah. Fair.
And that's fine, but he's an awkward thing. But enough harping on about it. I think Tri-Fighters are going to get seen a lot. They're all very valuable 3-point ships. You can take an upgrade on all of them.
Yeah, like
And there are
maybe you
upgrades in
don't end up with
Satisfaction
like
to
6 of them, but I
you
certainly.
say
Alright, maybe normal people don't end up with 6 of them.
I
But
mean, Captain Sear and 5 I1 interceptors with Crackshot. Bring it.
yeah, right, maybe. But yeah, I definitely think you'll see more of them.
Yeah. Fire sprays. All right, we're going to divert back to Scum for a little bit. Because of fire sprays.
yeah.
So Aura is down to 7 points.
Was always 7, I believe.
Was she? I think I'm pretty sure she was.
Well, she
8.
was the 8,
definitely
was she?
8.
Fair.
Yeah, she was
fair.
8. She's lost some loadouts, but she's still basically the same. She's your third pick of fire
Yeah.
spray.
I mean, it could be worse. She
Boba-
could be Boba.
Boba's identical. I mean, Boba now has more loadout than Aura, so
Yeah, but Aura has a built-in force point, right?
true. This is
So-
true. Django still 8 points, but only 22 loadout.
But that's
Zam
fine. Like
down
he's
to-
still good.
Yeah.
You just and you've not nerfed all the points. Like I think that's a
Yeah.
5 LV drop. So
Yeah.
on the build I was running, you could drop Notorious. I mean, that's probably not what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would drop, but you've got toys. But
Yeah.
although some of the toys he's taking are going up, so
Yeah, because the interesting thing now is Zam is also down to 8 and 22 loadout. So
yeah.
now you actually have it's actually an interesting choice of which fire spray you bring in Separatists. I think Django still edges out, but 2 fire sprays and a 4-point ship is looking quite tasty.
I think that's going to depend on how the meta runs. If we end up with a reasonably higher ship count, I think 3 ships are going to struggle.
I think they'll struggle, but I think the thing is, I think fire sprays are just a strong enough chassis that they'll
But
still
yeah,
be okay.
yeah, maybe.
Like
Fire
'cause
sprays
you can
are
make
good.
You can make Django double tapping with the title. Zam can double tap if you play it right. They have a bunch. They have enough loadout to bring most of the toys they want. They can both bring a force crew.
How is
quite
Django
happily.
double tapping with the title?
Well, you get the title and you put veteran Terra gun.
Oh,
or
right.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. But,
I
yeah.
mean, you could if he had a. Oh, yeah, because the title gives him the gunner slot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, it's just I was like, hang on, am I Is there a title I don't know about?
yeah.
Fair.
Like so, double. Like you can now run 2 fire sprays plus X. Like you always could, but now you have a better second fire spray. Because I think the problem before is that Aura, as the second fire spray, wasn't really worth it.
Yeah.
But Zam might be.
Or more importantly, I don't think it's so much that because I ran Django and Zam. I think it's you get a better third ship.
Yeah. Well, like that's my point, is because you could run Django, Aura, and a Geaton third ship, but Aura is a
Volan
lot
Das and the
worse.
Interceptor.
Yeah, exactly. Like because before, when Aura was 8 and Django was 8, you could run exactly
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
as what Django Zam plus X would be.
Yeah.
But I think Zam is just that much better of a fire spray than Aura.
Yeah.
But enough on them, because I don't particularly like fire sprays.
Fair enough.
Like, Django's still going to be seen. He's still good. Zam might be seen now because now it's personal preference, isn't it? Like, Zam's ability is still really strong.
Yeah. And let's be
Uh,
fair, if it puts people off from shooting your fire spray, great.
Exactly. Because on objective games, the fire spray still counts as 2. You still got to have 3 people in the vicinity to outpower Zam.
Yeah.
But on to the gauntlets. Bo-Katan down to 6, but lost 8 loadout down to 12. Pre Vizsla down to 6, lost 4 loadout down to 14. The Deathwatch Warrior is identical as far as I can tell.
7 and 10.
Yeah, might have gained some loadout slightly. Doesn't matter. You're never taking him. And then, so my favorite change is to the HMP gunships. Because they have mostly come down in points. The Geonosian prototype is down to 4. The Onderon Oppressor stays at 4, but gains 8 loadout.
So I believe everyone except the Alderaan Oppressor was 5 points before this?
Yes.
Yeah.
So DGS 047, that is Mr. I1, shoots at you and gains locks and gives you strain. He's 3 points and has 8 loadout, so you can put Kraken on him. Separatists now have a 3-point Kraken carrier. Here we go. It's Droid Swarm time. DGS 286, he's the I3, steal a calculate from a friend. He's also 3 points, but only has 7 loadout. So he can't carry Kraken, so he's a little sad. But he's still good. They've also abandoned the torpedo experiment on DGS 286. He's now back to double missile like everyone else.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. The Bactoid drone, 4 points, 8 loadout. Funnily enough, like, you can now run a pretty decent approximation of what used to be a pretty meta gunship spam list, because now the Bactoids can carry... Oh, no, actually, they can carry cluster missiles and concussion bombs. And if you scroll down a little bit, Separatist Predators can carry cluster missiles, concussion bombs, and the delayed fuses that you wanted to run. So, remember 4 frisbees? Now you can run 5.
Yeah.
You don't have room for the probe droids anymore, and less time to take the probe droid lock. So maybe that will matter. But
unless one of your ships just doesn't take the concussion bomb and drop.
Yeah, I meant like you don't necessarily have as much time to build up your stack.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you won't have Kraken to hold the calculates over.
Yeah.
But that's interesting changes. I reckon a couple of gunships, they might be seen more. I'm personally really liking DGS 047 because he's a 3-point Kraken carrier that has 8 hull, only behind 1 agility. But you know what? If you spend 3 shots shooting him, that's like 3 vultures who are still alive, or 2 hyenas, or the tri-fighters haven't gotten a shot. So that probably is a worthy change. Over to the hyenas. Now, the document is highlighted. I'm pretty sure there's actually 0 changes.
I didn't think
the bombardment drones were always 3 with 8 loadout. The Bactoids were always 3 with 9 loadout. Yeah. The loadout hasn't changed.
I didn't think that was a change.
We can skip.
Cool.
Over to the Nantex. Everyone's favourite Nantex is probably back. Sunfac is down to 5 points with 15 loadout. He can still take in snare, marksmanship, and gravitic deflection. So everyone's favourite I6 Nantex is probably going to be on the board again.
Yeah.
Yay. And everyone's second favourite Nantex, Chertek, is down to 4 points with 10 loadout, so he can take in snare, everyone.
Your medium base, it's no longer safe.
Yeah, all of a sudden 9 points for 2 Nantex with good abilities. Yeah, I reckon you might see them. The Magna Guards are next. So everyone other than Dirge has dropped a point and had their loadout slashed, except the Magna Guard Executioner, who stayed at 4 points and got 2 loadout.
So basically, they're all 4 points across the board now.
Yeah, and their loadout is mostly basically 10 through 13. CAD is on the high end of 13, and Dirge has 10. The generic Magna Guard Executioner, he has 6. Cool. We probably, if you were running him before, you probably won't anymore because there's no need. You can bring any of the other IGs in his place, unless you really want I3, in which case fair. But we may see the IG 101, 102, 111. Probably won't. I think you're just more likely to see Cad Bane now.
Or Dirge still, I think.
Yeah, Cad Bane or Dirge, because Dirge is still the same. He's literally hasn't changed, so you can still run good old Dirge.
Yeah.
Over to the Infiltrator. 066 in the Infiltrator is back. If he ever was here, he's now here. He is 5 points with 12 loadouts.
So
that's a
AMG,
nice little ability.
AMG did watch our podcast episode and went, yes, I like the idea of 4 infiltrators, and then cocked it up by doing a limited one.
Yeah, pretty much. But so 066 at 5 points is interesting.
I definitely think there's a place for
him. If he had a tactical relay slot, I'd be very excited for him.
But even without a tac relay slot,
Yeah, so he has the talent, torpedo, cannon, crew, bomb, and mod. He's I3. His ability is good. After you defend, you can spend a calculator to perform an action.
Like,
Uh,
just put
yeah.
Dooku on him.
Yeah. Slap Dooku on him, bam, 5-point force Dooku.
Three dice, large base, and let's be fair, an insane Nile.
Yeah, absolutely. In other news, Darth Maul has down to 7. He lost one loadout though, so no more can you do the what was the that there was no more can you do. Oh yeah, it was a hate, malice, and like Dooku or Palp or something that you could just slap onto him.
Fair.
I think that's been out for a little bit, but yeah. So he's no longer super Maul, but he's now 7 points, so he's not outrageously expensive.
And that is it.
And the vultures, nothing changed.
No change, and I think that's.
I mean, it's fine. Basically, I think the vultures kind of got nerfed a bit.
They got nerfed by the virtue of everything else getting buffed because,
and a bunch of their upgrades getting nerfed because the Kelrodo Eyes, a lot of their talents that they liked are now you can't get them and a good missile.
yeah.
Independent calculations now cost 2 points, which at least in my book probably means I'd never bring it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by that one, I have to say.
Because it means it means the Trade Federation drones now no longer have anything to spend that mod slot on, right?
Yeah, like because I thought I suppose the cost of bringing independent is you lose network and
yeah, and
network's good.
I don't know. It was interesting. I guess they didn't want you to be able to bring a couple of vultures with independent and a missile. They just sit on a rock somewhere. And I think that's fine. It just now I don't think I ever bring independent on vultures at least, and probably not even the tri-fighters or the hyenas because I've got better things to spend points on.
And on that, let's point over to the upgrades.
Yeah, let's run through this quickly.
So so the general gist of the upgrades is things have gone up here. Ships have come down, upgrades have gone up. Not all, as ironically I get to the first two. Vader has come down to 12. Crew and Grand Inquisitor went up. Death Troopers have come down to 4, which means you can do Death Troopers and Vader, I think, for the old Vader points.
Yeah. Super Commandos, all the Mandalorian crews went up to 8 points.
Tiber Saxon's gone up to 6. On to Rebels. C3PO crew is now 7. Fen Rao crew is 7. Jyn Erso is 7. What was she? Was she 3 or 4?
She was like 3, but she should be 7.
Yeah, she's very, very good. Maul is now 12. The Clan Wrens are 8. Ezra Bridger is 9. The Gunner. Selfless is 4. Which, okay. Interesting.
So the reason I think that is because now there's a lot of ships. They don't want there to be let's say you bring 4 to 5 T-65s and everyone is just suddenly sharing crits.
But it's still crits, isn't it? You still suffer
but when you have but if you let's say it was 1 point before, if there's 5 T-65s and they shoot the guy holding the crate and one of your T-65s go, I'll take that crit on the shield, and you just spread the damage out. I think they just don't want people to focus to be able to
that's only going to work for so long.
Yes, but now you don't get half points on most of the objectives. That only has to work for a little bit.
Well, yeah, that's true.
If I have 5 T-65s and my opponent unloads into one of them, and at the end of the day, all of my T-65s have lost their shields and they all get to shoot.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the reason I think that's good. Because ship count has gone up, there is more things that have shields that can selfless.
Night Brother, I now believe it is non-faction limited.
Yes, I can take that in Separatist. I was a little surprised to see that.
But also, I believe now takes some. Has it always needed a mod slot?
I think it's always needed a mod slot.
I don't.
Or at the very least, the other Gauntlet title always needed a mod slot, so I assume it is the same.
Scum. Forlom is now 8-point crew. Ahsoka is 10. Fen Rao is 7. Gamut Key is 8.
Ooh.
Prime Minister Almec and Almec Maul's puppet is 7. Still not sure if that'll see play, but we'll see. Zuckuss is 6. The Mando Super Commandos are 8, as per everyone else. And yet, gains Night Brother for the Gauntlet. That's Scum, like nice and easy. First Order. Snoke is now 10 points, but still banned.
Yep.
Special Forces Gunner, as we said, was 0.
Fanatical 2.
Fanatical 2, yeah, okay. I like that. Juturian Power Cells are 6.
Yeah, no, I like that. They're trying to push seeing the BA.
Yeah. And that's it for First Order. Nice and quick and simple. Resistance. BB-8 is now 5 points. Oh, okay. That is not. That was not on Launch Bay Next last time I looked, because I was going, I don't think I can find 8 points for that, but 5. Interesting. BB Astromechs are 4 points.
Yep.
The wartime loadout for the Y-Wing is 2, as we said. Leia Organa has come down a little bit to 14. Rey Gunner is 10. And that's it for Resistance. Nice and quick through the... A lot of the nerfs actually tend to be the generic ones, I think.
Yeah.
Apart from here. Republic. R7A7 has gone up to 5, because they don't want those crit generations.
Yeah. At least if you want crit generation, you should have to pay for it.
Yeah. Q7 is down to 1, because they are determined to make you barrel roll and boost through rocks. The Besh config for the V-Wing has gone up to a point, which I thought was a little surprising, because all the other configs are free. And
I think, is this the only one that has actively mods your shots though?
Possibly, but you're still spending a lot for one result.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, but I think my point is that this is the only config that you actively use on an attack to mod results. So I think it's okay to pay for it.
Yeah.
I don't think it should ever be more than one.
Ayla Secura is
either that or they just really want you to use ESC.
Yeah. Ayla Secura crew is down to 12, and that's quite interesting. Because Ahsoka's gone up to 10, and actually I was about to say, no. Technically, Kit Fisto is the cheapest Force crew. But 12 points, getting a focus into a purple coordinate is interesting if you've got the points for it.
Slam straight into my Sinker Swarm.
Okay. The Night Owl Commandos are 8. 7th Fleet Gunner has gone up to 13 points. Which kind of goes with the LV boost, I suppose, on the lats. Dedicated.
And also, along with the theme of if there's a really powerful upgrade, it's your only upgrade on certain things.
Yeah. Dedicated is up to 3. Which
I think that's okay, because I think okay as in because they're thinking because the board for this has gone up slightly. They're thinking, okay, well now for the defensive mod because they've got those 2-point clones.
But Dedicated is nowhere near as good, because you don't guarantee a result conversion.
Oh yes, but now that you have 2-point Z95s who can take Dedicated, I think they're just saying here's a talent upgrade for them. I think they can take talent.
I think if you're going to bump it up, I would have bumped it to 2, but that's me. Separatists.
Yeah, they can take them. Yeah, I'm just checking. They can take 2 talents each. Good luck to them.
Yeah, Seppies.
GP down to 12.
Nice.
General Grievous up to 6.
I mean, you very rarely saw the crew anyway, did you? So
I mean, but I think the problem is where you did see him, he was obnoxious.
And that's fair.
Free reinforce that is rechargeable via allied death in a faction that generally runs a lot of ships is probably fine. Deathwatch Commandos up to 8. Discord missiles down to 2, which is weird because now anyone who was buying them before just has an extra point that they can't spend.
Yeah.
Impervium plating up to 2. That's fine. Independent calculations up to 2. Sure. All the tactical relays are down by 2 points. So KTB4 down to 4, Kalani down to 3, Kraken down to 8, TA175 down to 6, TV94 down to 3. You'll still never ever see TV94, but at least he's only 3 points.
Yep.
Treacherous up to 3, which I think is sort of keep it in line with the faction talents.
Yeah.
Like they're all going up a bit.
Yeah.
And then we gained
Gauntlet.
So yeah, for some reason the Gauntlet title has changed. I didn't see any change. Other than it was always free and it always cost a mod slot.
So the
Generics.
So the R3 and the R4s have come back down to their previous 3 and 2 points respectively.
Yeah. HLC is up to 5.
I think that's fine.
Jamming up to 1.
Yeah, sure. I mean, all right, we'd put it on as a meme because we had a free slot, but maybe there's a list that uses it.
I mean, you know what? The funny thing is, though, you call it, you put it on because you had a free slot. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of, I had 1 point left over, so here's a jamming beam.
Yeah, maybe. Funny you should say that. Tractor beam is now 6.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think they're like they're upping and standardizing a lot of the cannons. I think laser cannons down to 6, but you still need double cannons. So.
Still need double.
And also, I think that is in line because all of the people that in theory carried them, the Magna Guards and the Rogues, all had their loadout slashed.
Yeah. Honda Crew is up to 8.
Which I'm not sure I understand.
Maybe they thought me going 2-1-2 at Sith Takers was too good and they wanted to nip it in the bud. Yeah.
I mean, unless there's something busted that they discovered somewhere. But
maybe.
like,
or something's coming in the new upgrades that new packs that we don't know about. We'll have to wait and see. Extreme maneuvers.
I know what it is. They just wanted to make it so that you couldn't get a cheap coordinate.
Yeah. Extreme maneuvers up to 8.
Yeah.
So really makes you think whether you need that hard boost.
8 up to 5.
8 up to 5. Yeah. I mean, it used to be 8 at one point, right? So.
Yeah. Well, it used to scale with like
agility.
No, it's scaled with ship size.
Ship size. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agile gunner down to 1.
Cool.
Veteran tail up to 5, and veteran turret down to 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, veteran tail was everywhere. I think there's a lot more things that I think have a back gun and use veteran tail gunner than there are turrets these days.
Yeah.
And often the things that have the back guns have like 50 loadout. I mean, okay, 20 loadout is being more acceptable, but they should be paying for their upgrades. Whereas a lot of things that have the turrets are also buying a turret and tend to have, like in this update, 8 to 10 loadout.
Yeah. Cloaking device is up to 8.
So Gideon can still take it.
You can still take it, but nothing else. Tracking
anything else on him?
Tracking fob is down to 3.
Okay.
But I mean, that does make it an interesting illicit choice because a lot of the others that are being taken have gone up. Like, non-limited range target locks is never a bad thing.
True. The only problem I have with it is that your opponent chooses which ship.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a target lock, isn't it?
Like, sometimes it'll get them. Like let's say I run my Captain Seer and 5 Colicoid Interceptors. I have to put it on Captain Seer.
Yeah.
Because it's limited only, right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, I must choose a limited ship if possible.
Yeah. And on illicits, false transponders has gone up to 5.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Rig cargo chute at 3 points.
Cool. It's gone down by 1. I accept this offer.
Barrage rockets have gone down to 6.
I think that's more in line of the things that can carry it.
Yeah.
Have had their loadout slashed.
Onto mods. So Afterburners is now 8.
Yay.
Beskar reinforced plating, 3 points.
Yes. So now it's well worth taking because 3 points for that's 3 points for an extra hull.
Yeah.
As long as you're facing the enemy.
Dropseat bay up to 5.
So, oh boy.
Really paying for the extra crew slot.
I feel like what they've made it is like if you're bringing the commandos, most of the gauntlets are only bringing the commandos.
Yeah.
So that's what 13 points combined.
Yeah.
So if Vizsla wants to take commandos, he's only taking commandos as an example.
Mandalorian optics up to 3. Down to 3. Yeah.
Yep.
Which is nice because we've been saying for ages that we need some 3-point mods. You know, there's that gap missing.
Yeah.
So they pick the ones that you have to be a Mandalorian to.
Yeah. But I think this also fits in with they want Mandalorian stuff to be seen on the table because, you know, the Mandalorian is popular and Flying Fighters are nowhere to be seen and neither is Mando.
Yeah.
So here's a bunch of cheap upgrades that will enhance your Mandalorian stuff because Mandalorian optics is good.
Yeah.
Like, let alone the system phase bit. You ignore obstructing obstacles.
Onto bombs. Basically, protons up to 5 and procs up to 10.
Yeah, they're the most common bombs and makes sense. So my bombardment drones are no longer taking prox mines; they're taking electroproton bombs. AMG have forced my hand. It's the only other 8-point bomb, Sean. It's the only choice I have.
I mean, you could take a non-8-point bomb and something else.
Oh, you say that, but
hang on. If you're taking the 8-point bomb, then you're not taking independent calculations anymore.
Well, yeah, I couldn't take the independent calculations anyway.
Why?
If I take an 8-point something, like if I had prox mines, I can't take independent calculation anymore. Because it's
but I meant but what I meant is you could take a less mine and still get it in. But
I could take a crappy bomb. I can take a bomblet generator.
Yeah. Collision detector, 7 points.
Yeah, so down from 9.
Still banned, but trajectory simulator, 8 points.
Yay!
Clan training, 1 point. Pushing the Mando stuff.
So staple that to every Mando you find, pretty much, except Fen, who still wants fearless.
Yeah. Lone Wolf,
or any of
3 points.
So I actually like this change because it's going to be harder to trigger it. So let it be good if you play for it.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
If you want to hamstring yourself with a lower ship count and to utilize Lone Wolf, I think not having to pay out through the nose for it is good.
Yeah. Composure was banned.
I think that's fine. I think this is a stupid talent that is absolutely useless unless something breaks it. So it's fine to just ban it.
Yeah.
It's just completely pointless.
Crack shot's gone up to 4.
That hurt me a lot.
Oh, I feel no sympathy whatsoever.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. I wasn't doing nice things with crack shot.
Crack shot is the ultimate feels bad. Like, yes, I finally just got enough to survive crack shot.
I don't know. I've rolled 2. You've rolled 2 hits. Well, I've rolled 2 evades. Cool, Captain Sear, crack shot.
Exactly. Daredevil up to 5.
Yep. Debris Gambit up to 4. Elusive up to 4. Wait, no, Debris Gambit down to 4?
Debris Gambit down to 4, right?
I think Debris Gambit was 5 before.
Yeah. Elusive, I think, definitely deserves to go up to 4.
Yeah.
Duke just creeping up to 7. Cool. Notorious up to 7.
Yeah. So that's secretly 10, right?
Yeah. But I mean, it was 8. Oh no, secretly 7, right? 9. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if you take I mean,
Deadman's.
I know Dead Man Switch, but secretly it's 10 because contraband.
Yeah. Predator up to 3. Well, I'm all right with that. Like,
yeah, that's fine.
Saturation Salvo, I want to say down to 2.
I think that is down to 2.
Yeah.
I think it used to be like 4.
I thought it was 4 or 5.
So the interesting about the talents here is I feel like, and Tier 1 Bellyron is now 1, by the way, guys. So holy moly, watch out.
Yeah.
Is I feel like there's just the problem with the talents is there's always just going to be that one that's just it's so cheap I may as well take it. Like Elusive was the go-to, and now I feel like it's just going to be Predator again.
Or if you've got the 3 points, if you haven't, I think it'll just be marksmanship, right?
Yeah, you just like.
All right. I've lined up the bullseye. Great, there's a crit.
Yeah, I think a marksmanship is just always a random go-to. But like it was like I guess there is no real 2-point talents anymore. Is there really?
The faction ones.
Which is Fanatical is 2, and that's about it.
Heroics 2.
Oh, okay, fine. Fine. The sequel get to be happy because the prequels and the OG trilogy.
What was hopeful? We We skipped past
sitting at
Hopeful.
3 and 4. Hopeful wasn't changed, but it's
Yeah, Discipline wasn't changed.
Selfless.
So Disciplined will still be 2, and
yeah.
so
Selfless goes to 4, Treacherous goes to 3, and
Dedicated goes to 3.
Dedicated goes to 3.
Torpedoes. So Advanced Proton Torpedoes goes up to 9. That's what, a 1 point up? Because they were
1 point up.
yeah,
I think
that-
it just
that's
knocks
fine.
it out of reach of some stuff that can have it.
Yeah, the interesting one though is Plasmas. Plasma's
Down
down
to
to
5.
5.
Oh boy. Like, I wonder if this like, I know everything lost a bunch of load, but this feels like it's too cheap.
Like, so
Don't you just staple it to everything that can
Like,
use it?
because like a lot of people I know have been saying, "Oh, it's Plasmas, it's 3 dice. It's not good. You won't hit." Well, A, it's 3 dice, and realistically, unless you're a ghost or something, you're throwing 3 dice anyway or less.
Yeah.
And B, depending on the range, you're denying the range bonus.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you do hit, and something's got a shield, then you're
actually
effectively a
Proton.
proton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, I don't know. Like, we'll have to see how it hashes out. But, like, I've already come up with swarm lists that have, like, 2 plasma torps in.
yeah, like I've got
the
lists
pile of
that I've got
shells,
lists that
like-
if it's got munitions and they're near the high end of my list, it gets plasmas.
Yeah.
Um,
Admittedly, maybe the lack of torpedo slots is what's going to keep it safe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of missile slots going around, but not so many torpedoes.
and that is it. So yeah, interesting. Like it does seem like AMG want slightly more ships, definitely more choice of ships.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be looking at a probably 5 to 6 ship average, 4 to 5 to 6 ship average.
I reckon 4 to 6 will be the most common. How it hashes out, we'll have to see. Like, maybe the top end coming down, a lot of the top end coming down to 5 points means that 4 ships is just really good.
Yeah, but less loadout on everyone
Yeah.
for the most part. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's
You know what?
it's quite a good
It's-
shake-up. So
It's like we're creeping back to 2.0, where, people didn't have 15 upgrades on all their stuff because it actually cost points. Now you just don't have the points to spend.
yeah, you've got to pick and choose, and that's nice. I like that. Well, on that note, we better wrap it up quite quickly because we have been nattering
This is
on
supposed to be a short
quite
episode.
a lot. Yeah, short episode. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We will be back next week.
Where we'll be hearing about your achievements at Curtain.
And ironically, probably watching a game from before I went to Curtain. But actually, no, because we will record this before Curtain.
Ah, true.
We will record this the day before, so...
We can predict your achievements at Curtain.
No, I mean, we can't, because... Who knows
Sure
what
we
people
can.
are bringing?
Like, there's only so many slots you can end up in, Sean.
Yeah, like 1 to 16.
Yeah.
The real question is, how many games can I convince my wife to let me play over the next week to get some
Probably
practice?
one a day.
I think I can probably manage 1 a day. Well, on that note, we will wrap it up. So thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you
If
next
you've made
week.
it this long, congratulations. I hope anything was helpful, because as far as I think we vaguely talked about it, and then I gushed about separatists.
Yeah, pretty much. I did a bit of gushing over Resistance. I like Resistance. I've always liked Resistance. That's why when I stopped Republic, they were my first go-to.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right, yeah. See you guys next week.
Yeah, ta-ta.